Oh, what happened? What did I just do?
I'm gonna go live now. I'm almost live.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Okay, welcome, Renata. Welcome. Yes.
Thank you.
We are live on Facebook. Thank you all for joining us. Welcome to another exciting episode of Prestigious Talk Show. Today I have with me a special guest. We are going to be discussing, talking about the awareness of mental health. And today this special guest will share her lived experience because she has a family member that lived with mental health before they passed. Today we are privileged to have with us live here on Prestigious Talk Show, Renata Braithwaite. Renata, you're welcome to Prestigious Talk Show. So please stay with us, share this video, share if you're watching right now, please share. As I've said before, we'll be bringing people to educate us, inform us, as I say, knowledge is power. So today Renata is coming to share with us her lived experience and just stay informed and continue to help us share this video. Thank you. Renata, you're welcome once again to Prestigious Talk Show.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And good morning, everybody. And thank you all for joining us. And thank you for being here to actually help us to discuss a topic that's near and dear to me and to give us the opportunity that I can share my experiences with you and also my passion.
Yeah, thank you, Renata. So before we continue, I would like you to just introduce yourself properly because I also Renata Braithwaite. Introduce yourself properly to our audience so that they will have a little bit, they'll know what you do. And yeah.
Okay. So again, good morning. My name is Renata Braithwaite, and I'm the daughter of Melba Braithwaite. Melba Braithwaite was a former patient of CAMH Hospital. She was an involuntary patient who actually died at that hospital. As a result of her death, I've done a couple of things to bring awareness to mental health and to stamp out the stigma and bring change. I host campaigns and fundraisers to make sure that we can contribute and we learn knowledge. As Faith just said, knowledge is power. The more you stories you hear, the more experiences shared, the more knowledge is out there. So each one teaches one, basically.
True. Yeah. Thank you so much, Renata. So our first question today, I want you to share with us why you think mental health is as important as our physical health, our mental health. Why do you think it's as important as our physical health?
Okay, so mental health is just as important as physical health because your mental status plays a major role on your overall well-being. So your how you maintain your physical health. For example, anxiety and depression. Those are two of the most common health issues mental health issues that we have, and they can affect our ability to promote healthy behaviors or healthy activities. Sometimes the illness, it can lead to obesity, it can lead to high blood pressure, heart attacks, and strokes, and even it can cause death. So physical health, it can improve your overall health, and it can reduce developing diseases such as cancer and diabetes. Therefore, you must take care of your mental health in order that you can take care of your physical health. Again, mental health and physical health, they go hand in hand.
True. Thank you very much, Renata. You've really said it all. You cannot leave one for the other. You have to, it correlates.
That's right.
As you said, you can't say, oh, I'm more focused on my physical health. For that reason, I don't care about my mental health. And again, we have to also remember that the mental health is the engine. This is it's like a vehicle. When you don't have an engine in your vehicle, I don't think the vehicle will run properly. The vehicle can be beautiful, but without the engine, the vehicle will not run. So for me personally, from what I take from everything that you've just said, that our mental health is even, I don't want to emphasize that it's even more important.
Most important.
Most important. I'm not discounting the fact that our physical health is important. When you are okay up there, every other thing can fall in place. So people, I don't know why people kind of misunderstood the fact that mental health is not something that is visible. They don't acknowledge, people don't realize it, that we have to take care of our mental health. Our mental health is very, very important. It's pivotal that we take care of our mental health. Thank you so much. So just to digress into the next question, so share with us your experience as someone who's family member, your mother to be precise, battle with mental health illness. Share with us, before she passed, how was it like? Yeah.
So the journey, it can be like a roller coaster ride. You have your ups, you have your downs. One thing you have to do is stay on the ride until the very end. You can't give up. You can't, you can take a break and step back a little bit, but you have to be resilient. You have to be there for them. You see, for me, my mother was diagnosed with anxiety when I was a toddler. As a result, we were taken to Barbados to be raised by her mom, which is my grandmother, of course, myself and my siblings. In Barbados, the stigma is very steep surrounding mental health. So my grandmother kept it a secret from us that our mom was mentally ill. So I was 10 years old when I actually found out that my mom was mentally ill. But the way in which it was delivered to me wasn't that she's mentally ill. It was that she's mad. She's a mad woman. She's possessed. She's very violent, and she can hurt you. She can actually harm you. So at that age, it was really hard to actually ponder that, the woman that gives life to me can actually be harmful to me. But at the same time, the fear was instilled into me by the family members. At 14 years old, I met her. And of course, because of the fear which was instilled into me, it kind of hindered the way in which I reacted to her the very first time I saw her.
Of course.
However, over the years, I tried to gain knowledge about the illness she had.
Yes.
I tried to, as you said, knowledge is power. So I tried to ask investigative questions, do my own personal investigation,
educate
to
yourself,
see what I can do to make her better. During that course, that's right. During that time, I was told that the only thing that can help her, it was medication. So again, I ventured out in other ways to see what I can do to help her. The first thing that I knew that was the core to give to her was love, unconditional love. That was the easiest thing to give. And it's something that's in all of us. Love is something that we can just give naturally. So again, I overshower her with love. When I was younger, people would tease me and tell me things like, my mom is mad and I'm going to be mad just like her. For me, it was scary. It was a scary situation because I wasn't sure. I even had psychiatrists say to me, schizophrenia is something that's hereditary. And if you don't be careful, it can happen to you as well. Again, that was something that, had me a little scared as well. But again, I didn't give up, because for me, words is vain. And I put that behind me. And I know my ultimate goal was to make my mom better, or to make sure that I created a better atmosphere, a better environment for her, especially for the fact that she was already suffering. I didn't want her to suffer in a dark place. I wanted her to know that there was love. And I, as I said, I overshower her with love. There's things that, for example, I battle with the nurses, the doctors, the psychiatrists, and of course, from battling with them, that's why the psychiatrist made the statement he made. I advocated for her. I was a substitute decision maker, and I made sure that her care was 100%. I wanted to make sure she had the best quality care that can be given. Even after her death, I questioned the corners surrounding inquests from involuntary psychiatric patients. Very often I was told by my family members and friends and caregivers, give up, walk away. It's too much. You can't handle it, Renata. Come on, just give up. But no, I didn't. I was persistent. I persevered because I know perseverance is seldom failed. When they give my mom new medication, anytime they were given new medication, what I'll do, I'll ask them questions about it. I'll do my own personal research on it to make sure that it didn't interact with her previous health issues that
medication,
she was having, or any of the other medication that she was taking for those other mental, for those other diseases. So I made sure that when I sit in front of the psychiatrist, I had the knowledge about the medication, because sometimes we have to face it. Doctors, they're human beings, and they can overlook the slightest details, such as the underlying health issues or the interaction of other medications together. Again, humans, and we make mistakes. So again, I wanted to make sure that I was 100% involved in her care. I mean, there were times when my mother, people would look at her and scorn her, look down on her, and people abused her mentally and physically. She was abused, and then also she was verbally abused because of her mental, physical, and her overall health condition. People, as I said, people tried to make me give up on my mom, but giving up was not a quality I had inside of me, because, as I said, when you give unconditional love, there's no way you walk away. You see, you can't let other people's opinions influence the way you feel or think, especially when it comes to the ones you love or people dealing with mental health. My contribution in there is my contribution to the world. I want to make this world a better place for people with mental illness. I want to be able to stamp out the stigma and bring awareness. When I was younger, if that stigma was not there, I am sure there would have been a much better care for my mom. But because of the stigma that was associated with mental health, it made it a lot more difficult to deal with.
Thank you so much, Renata. That's really deep, and thank you for sharing your own lived experience. Having someone that have been battling with mental illness before she passed is not really easy. I know it must have been quite a journey, and physically, emotionally, and also based on the fact that people associate negative connotations to mental illness. Automatically, once somebody discloses that they have mental illness, there's this negative association. They are crazy, they are mad, they are possessed, they are this, they are that. And because of that negative association, people are afraid to disclose, because you don't want to disclose, and you don't want somebody to be seeing you as crazy, or you don't want somebody to see your society now view you as crazy, you're mad, you're this. And that is why people tend to keep quiet, okay? People tend to keep quiet because of the negative, because of the way they associate all these negative things to mental illness. It is time that it is high time we start educating people about mental illness. You said something that really stood out, that I was just thinking through about when you said when you were young, about 10 years old, they said your mother, they didn't actually tell you what was wrong with your mother. I think your grandmother now told you that, your mother has a mental illness or so. And the way they presented it to you was even scary. Okay, now you don't know how to, didn't know how to, you didn't understand, but the way it was presented to you, you were afraid. Okay, my mother is, they are saying my mother is crazy. Right. So if I near her, she might kill me. Somebody that gave birth to you, you are now afraid of that person. Yes. And that can even worsen the whole situation. Okay, the fact that we see them, as crazy, we see them as lunatic, we see them as, is something we have to stop doing. And that is why we are here.
That's
okay. And that is why we are creating awareness. You emphasize on love, that we have to show them love. We have to show them that we care. We have to support them in every way we can. You place that emphasis. You also went as far as you talked about the fact that you advocated for her. You were there for her, you know, and you tried to ensure that the medication that was given to her was proper. It will not result to other drug interactions, because we have others, you know, that can cause other side effects. Okay, which is really, really good. And the fact that the doctor also mentioned that, you can be predisposed to having schizophrenia because it's something that is hereditary. It's also scary, you know. So people will say, oh, that stigma is still associated. So we'll trace it back to history. Historically, we can see that this thing, the stigma that is associated with a mental illness, has been ongoing. When you trace it back, they view people that were mad back in the days as demonic. Okay, this is not of God, right? But thank God that we are now getting more awareness, but we still have to keep talking about it so that people will not just see people that are mentally ill as people that cannot fit into the society anymore. They have to be isolated. They have to be kept somewhere. They have to be institutionalized. They have to be kept separately from us. No. Mental illness can be managed. And how can we manage it? By loving them and giving them the right medication. They can also function very well in our society.
That's right. Involving them in activities.
Yes. Involving them in activities, they can function. They are just human beings like me and you. And I can tell you from what you said, triggers can, if you're not being cared for, you're not being shown love, it can trigger other things. Okay. And all of a sudden, somebody is saying, oh, you have this, and I'll call it almost bullying that person. Instead of you to say, how can we help you? What can we do to make this person a better person? How can we, bring out the best in this person?
What can we do to make this place a better place?
Yes. Yeah, a better place for. So instead of that, we want to isolate people that have mental illness and put them in an institution and say, yes, as if they are, I don't know. I just don't know I think I have no words for. It's time for us to start, we have to start learning. We have to unlearn what we've learned before. Because all those things are socially constructed. There are some sickness, it's all categorization. There are some illness. When you tell people you have this illness, there's this negative, there are some illness, they will immediately feel pitied for you, right? So I want to thank you for sharing your own lived experience, of having someone, your own mother, she lived with a mental illness for almost all her, she lived with mental illness for years, even before you were born, or maybe after you were born, I'm not sure, but that was a long period of time. And I want to thank you for sharing that. So from there, we are going to move on to the next question, which you also talked about. You talked about her diagnosis was schizophrenia, right? So
yes.
Can you educate?
So first, at the age of 24, she was diagnosed with anxiety. Okay. 2 years later, that anxiety led to depression, and then after years, it went to anxiety. So again, there's a pattern. It needs to get treated. My mom suffered from this mental illness for a period of over 29 years. So again, when you see the signs, you have to take action right away.
Yes,
again, it started as anxiety. Yes. It went to depression. From depression, schizophrenia. So the patterns, if you don't treat it in the beginning, it can escalate to an illness. When it's in the health issue where it's like anxiety and depression and it's not treated and it gets to mental illness, then really sometimes there's nothing that you can do other than medicate, and self-take care for them. That's the only thing then left to do.
So from what I hear you say, it is really detrimental if you don't treat it, and once that person is not properly diagnosed, especially for those people that have anxiety, have depression, they see it as nothing. They don't want to talk about it. They trivialize it. If you're watching me right now, please, if you're feeling somewhat or you don't understand the way you're feeling, seek for meet with a professional. It is very, very pivotal that you meet a professional. You just heard from Renata. Her mother, mental illness, went through different phases. It was from anxiety, then depression, then schizophrenia. Because if she was taken care of proper at the initial stage, I don't think this will happen. And again, most people don't want to share because of the stigma. Stigma is a huge thing. Because of the stigma associated with it, they don't want to share. At the end of the day, it can lead to something else. So it is better to take care of yourself when you are feeling, if you're feeling somewhat different by yourself. Seek the help of a professional. Meet with a doctor. Tell them this is how I'm feeling. And there are so many resources that you can do your own research. There are signs. There are symptoms. There are signs. It will not just occur like that. You must have been, going through some symptoms. Withdrawal. There are so many signs and symptoms of mental illness that you must have experienced before before you now go to the full phase of that mental illness. So it is very, very crucial that you seek the help of a professional. Meet with a psychiatrist to take care of you. Explain to them, let them know that this is what I'm passing through. I don't understand what is going on with me. There are different types of mental illness, different types.
Many.
Was it last week? I brought Samantha here. She was able to educate us on different types of mental illness. And for those of you watching me, they also have what they call insomnia. Insomnia is also mental illness. What is insomnia? Insomnia, some people, they can't sleep for days, nights, they can't sleep. And if you're experiencing that symptom, please seek the help of a professional. It is very, very important. Okay? We have anxiety, we have schizophrenia, we have PTSD, we have
bipolar,
bipolar, depression, eating disorder, name it. Multiple personality, we have congruent disorder. Okay, so people should please.
OCD.
Yes, OCD, yeah, please. All these are different types of mental illness. The reason why I am bringing people to speak about it, mental illness within Black community is widespread, but they are not talking about it. They don't want to because of the stigma that is associated with it. Once you talk about it, you seek the right help, they'll be able to help you. We are doing this to create awareness. I have emphasized on my show that knowledge brings about power. Once you're knowledgeable about something, you have power over it. You can control it. You can control it. There are medications that you can use to control it, and you function very well in the society. So thank you so much, Renata. I really appreciate the fact that you just you were able to explain the different phases of the mental illness that your mom went through. You said first it was anxiety, depression, then to schizophrenia. And also people should also know that environmental causes can also lead to mental illness. Okay, people will be surprised. It's not only hereditary. I'm going to let them know that environmental causes. People ask why. Yeah, some people can have mental illness because of the environment that they are in, the context, the location, their social location. Most time, it can be through stress. Something, maybe you are in a new environment, you're new to that environment, no family members. For those of you watching me, you're new, an immigrant from a different country, right? You come to a new environment, cultural shock, right? Anxiety, nobody to talk to, nobody is understanding you. And that can lead to mental illness too. You need help. We need to meet with people. Yeah. Environmental cause can lead to it. It can, the person that is that inherited that's like, if the person that, for example, if they talk about inheriting mental illness and environmental causes of mental illness, it will just be the same symptoms. I'm telling you. The difference is that the person that will inherit it will be, like through their lineage. But the environmental cause can also be detrimental if you're new to a country, or you're new to a place, or you are in a bad relationship. It can lead to mental illness, depression,
that's correct,
anxiety. Okay, giving birth too, postpartum trauma can lead to mental illness. Trauma is a big one. So this is the reason why we are here today, to talk about mental illness, because we want change. How can change start? It starts with me and you. So as you're watching this video right now, continue to help us share this video if you want to create a change. This is how you can help us create that change that we need. So I'm just going to continue with Renata. So Renata, thank you so much for deconstructing that for us. I really want to appreciate the fact that you were able to just unpack everything properly. Thank you so much. So my other question that I really want to ask is, you talked about how you challenged the government of Canada to change the act surrounding an inquest individual with mental health. Can you enlighten us more on that note, please?
Okay, so I actually contributed to the change. You see, as I said, my mother, Melba Braithwaite, was a former involuntary patient at CAMH. CAMH is the Center for Addiction and Mental Health. She passed away at that said hospital 20 years ago. When she died, there was a lot of unanswered questions surrounding her death, such as how she died, when she died, where she died, and by what means did she come to her death. Those are the four of the major questions that are needed to be answered at an inquest and cannot be answered by the hospital where she died. There were so many different stories surrounding her death. Like, for example, the housekeeper had called me and told me that she saw my mom in the bathroom on the floor, and she called the nurse to assist her, and the nurse said my mom could wait. And, she didn't take care of my mom. As my mom substitute decision maker, before her death, I had a conversation with her psychiatrist where I asked him not to put her on a certain medication because of the side effects that it was having. I had left and went away for a vacation. So I was out of the country for a couple of weeks. And during that time while I was away, the psychiatrist went to the patient's advocate and actually got the medication that I had asked not to give her approved. When I called to see how my mom was doing, I noticed that they told me that my mom started having seizures. So seizures was one of the side effects from that medication. So automatically, I kind of figured she's on this medication that I specifically asked not to have her on. Therefore, of course, I questioned that as well, right? What happened is there were too many different scenarios that lead up to her death, and then too many unanswered questions at the hospital around what had happened the day of her death. So because of all the uncertainty, I was unsure. I wanted to have closure, but most of all, I wanted to make sure that other family members didn't have to go through what my family was going through or had to go through at that time. So at the time of my mother's death, it was a really, really difficult time for me, but also for the other patients that were in the hospital. So I wanted to make sure that there was change in that hospital system. I wanted to make sure that surrounding the psychiatric patients, they were changed, especially when it came to inquest. I requested the inquest and the coroner denied it. This inquest, however, even though the coroner denied it in 2006, it was approved by the tribunal, but it was still subjected to the government's right to appeal. So again, I didn't stop. I still keep pushing and pushing to make sure that I can have the inquest. You see, in those days, inquest for psychiatric involuntary psychiatric patients who died in a mental facility or hospital, it was discretionary. Meanwhile, a person who died while incarcerated or in police custody, inquest was mandatory. In my opinion, people in psychiatric hospitals, they're on lock wards. They cannot leave, especially involuntary patients. Involuntary patients cannot leave the hospital when at their own free leisure. They have to have authorized permission to leave. They're on lock wards, and sometimes they're even in lock rooms. The same with when you're incarcerated, you're in a lock ward or a jail, and you cannot leave without authorized permission. So there was no reason to have inquest mandatory for prisoners, but for psychiatric patients discretionary. So I found that the law was discriminating against psychiatric patients. So that's why I went after the coroners of Canada for that inquest.
Wow. You have, I don't know what, we need to actually applaud you. You are somebody that I would say I am proud of right now. I have to say that, and I want people to actually applaud you, not just the fact that you were able to make a very huge change, and you impacted lives. You were not selfish. You didn't say, oh, my mom that I've been battling for or advocating for, she's gone, I don't need to do anything anymore. No, but you still forge ahead to fight for those that cannot fight for themselves.
Absolutely.
So that is really huge. That is huge. And you're still fighting. You're creating awareness. And that is why I decided to invite you here. I remember that you did something. Of course, we are going to talk about that. So I don't want to quickly spit that out. That is why we are here. You're still fighting. You're creating that awareness. You're trying to make people understand that mental illness is just like every other illness. We have to take care of ourselves and love people that have mental illness. Don't look at them as though they are not human beings, they are less of human, or they are something else. No. So you're still fighting, and you're still making sure that awareness is out there for people to know that we have to love them and treat them equally as every other person. So that is really good. Thank you so much. And yeah, that will lead me to you already talked about why you fought for your mother.
Well, one of the reasons around why I fought too, to me, psychiatric patients, they're the most vulnerable people in society, right? And as I said, I wanted to contribute to that change surrounding them. Therefore, as I said, I persist, and I was persistent. And I believe that perseverance, as I said before, perseverance seldom fails. Sometimes, you just have to take the necessary steps that you have to in order for other people to leverage on it, on your footsteps. So I have to say, because of me taking those necessary steps today, inquest for involuntary patients in the psychiatric facility or hospitals, if they die in the psychiatric hospital or hospital, the inquest is now mandatory. So those necessary steps has changed everything for society, for people who are dealing with mental illness and who die as a result of their mental illness.
Wow. Thank you so much. You're watching, you've just heard from Renata how she was able to create a change. I tell people will be thinking, oh, in order for change to occur, it has to be the government have to create it. Who are the government? Is me and you. Okay.
We are the government.
Yeah, we are. People don't, I don't know, some people don't understand. We have the power to change anything. If you want change, it starts with me and you. You can say, I want change, I want something to, you have to do your own quarter, do something, take the necessary steps, do something. Don't be say, I am fighting, I want to make sure that you're just saying it in a space whereby nobody will hear you. It's not going to amount to anything. You have to do something, in order for a change to occur,
you have to take the
you have to
necessary
do
steps.
something. You have to come out. You have to advocate for those that are vulnerable. You have to advocate. You have to do something, just the way we are doing right now. From what we are doing right now is creating a change, and we are creating awareness, telling people about the stigma associated with mental illness. They should stop it and help people that have mental illness. Start loving them. Show them that you care. Listen to them. Instead of isolating them or just thinking that they are less of human. No. So thank you so much, Renata. I want you to actually tell us about your new initiative that you started.
Okay, so a few years ago, I started writing on T-shirts and walking on the trails with signs, basically to bring awareness to mental health. But last year I decided, you know what, I really want to make this more impactful. I want to be able to make donations and fundraise for different areas of mental organizations that's dealing with people with mental health or mental illness. So last year, what I decided to do, I hosted a fundraiser, which was the 20-kilometer mark. And that also marked my mom's 20th anniversary as well, since her death. So this was in memory of my mom, but also to bring awareness to mental health and to also educate my participants and my viewers about the importance of mental health and physical health. So I had special speakers such as Samantha Fredericks. She's a licensed social worker and psychotherapist. And she spoke about the types of mental health, the difference between mental health and mental illness, and the signs to look for. And then I also had Emmanuel Bonny. He's the director of All In Athletics Training. And he spoke to us about the importance of physical health and how to take care of your physical health, and why mental health and physical health, it goes hand in hand. So the donations that I raised from that, they went directly to Camish Hospital. This year, what I want to do, I'm going to be doing it every month. Every month I'm going to be walking and for a different cause. A different illness surrounding mental health, but just to bring awareness to mental health. And I'm also going to be getting doing fundraisers to actually donate to places like the Black community. So organizations cater to mental health in the Black community, that cater to mental health for the youth, and other organizations, as long as it's surrounded with mental health awareness. I know that mental health is just as important as physical health, and mental health is health. So my campaign, basically, what I do is called 20 Voices for Mental Health: Eyes, Ears, Heart, and Arms. What I encourage you to do, use your eyes to observe the changes in the behaviors, the withdrawals, the eating habits, and also the sleeping habits. Use your ears for active listening. Build trust. Build trust with them and establish rapport. Let them see that you're concerned with what they're telling you. All of these are signs of active listening. You know, you can show them you understand by paraphrasing what they've said to you. You know, use statements like, I see, I understand. Thank you for sharing with me. That's very important. Thank you for sharing with me, you know. So as I said, some people like to keep it inside. So thank them for actually sharing with you, and also thank them for trusting you as well. You know, you want to listen to them empathetically and also sympathetically, and also listen comprehensively. You know, try to understand what they're feeling, and try to understand how they arrive at those thoughts or feelings. Pay attention to what they're saying, and you know, do not judge them. That's the next thing. You want to use your heart, and you want to love them. Love them unconditionally. Love them demonstratively. Show them your love in your action. Let them see that no matter what, you love them. You want to be there for them. Use your arms and extend to them. Ask them if they need a hug. Ask them if they need a hug. Studies prove that a hug can reduce the signs and symptoms of anxiety or depression. Lend a hand when needed. Use your voice to advocate for them. Let them know that you are there for them and you're willing to advocate for them. Let them know that they're not in this alone. And again, it makes the experience for someone with mental health a lot easier when they see that they have someone there. My hashtag, I walk because I care. I walk to bring awareness to mental illness. I walk because I know mental health is just as important as physical health. I walk to stamp out the stigma, and I walk for positive change. That is what my nation is about.
Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. I walk because I care. I love that. And the fact that there's something you said I really love. I want to reiterate that. You said they should not be judgmental. Ask them if they need a hug. A hug can do a lot. Trust me. It gives people that reassurance that you are not alone. Okay. And if you're watching right now, just can you imagine how Renata have been able to tell us what to do if you don't know what to do? Okay. Ask them if they need a hug, because some people can be traumatized too if you hug them, depending on what they've been through. So that it is very crucial that you ask somebody.
You must ask.
Yeah, be polite. Can I hug you?
Can I offer you a hug?
Yeah. Say, yes, can I offer you a hug? If they say yes, go ahead to hug them. Yes. Love is very powerful. Show love to them. She said, pay attention, listen to them, listening skills. When we look at all these things, these are communication skills. The emphasis that Renata just placed, she talked about different types of communication skills. Listening skills is the most important one. Somebody is telling you something, you're not paying attention to that person. That person will feel like, okay, maybe what I'm doing or what I'm saying to this person does not even count. The person is, the person will automatically withdraw from what they are saying and say, you know what? I don't think this person is paying attention enough. I don't think this person really cares, because people don't understand what's the impact of non-verbal communication. If your mouth is saying something and your body is acting somewhat different, and your mouth, what you're saying does not correlate with how your body is, your body language, then trust me, people can just decide to withdraw their trust and say, you know what, this person, okay, I don't think I can trust them enough to disclose to them. Or if they are telling you something and you're feeling somewhat, oh God, this person is crazy, even though you're not saying it, your body language tells. This person is watching your countenance. Okay, the person is watching how you're reacting, your response, your non-verbal communication. Forget about what you're saying verbally. They are watching your non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication is huge. It is huge. So you have to pay attention to that. You want to really show that you care about somebody, it should be reflective. You're saying it in your mouth and your body is also acting it.
That's right.
Sorry, and it will go a long way. If you're watching right now, somebody came to you and tell you, oh God, I'm going through this, listen to them. Pay attention. Listen carefully and show them love. Show them that you care. Show them that you're not alone. Fortunately, that is what I use here. Is one of our motto. Remember, you are not alone on Prestigious Talk Show. That is what I use. Remember, you are not alone. You hear me after everything I'll say it. I have a reason to say that. You might have a woman that is going through that is stuck in abusive relationship, or you have a single mother, she's struggling with her children. She don't know what to do. She's thinking she's alone in this whole world. The world is everything is against her, but you should be there to listen to her and let her know, give her that reassurance that she is not alone, or that person, let them know that they are not alone. I just use the example of a woman. It can be anybody, okay? So Renata, I don't even know how to thank you enough for this wonderful advice and, the skills that you've just given to us that you've shared with us right now. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
My
And I know my
pleasure.
viewers out there, they are also happy. Please, I told you, come to Prestigious Talk Show. Watch. We are here to educate you, inform you, bring in people that have experience, that can share their experiences with you, people that can educate you, different things. So
Well, this bit right
always
here.
watch out and continue to share.
Oh, this is the one
And
I was walking with she the other day.
No, this African
okay, please unmute yourself, please.
Alicia Small, mute yourself, please.
Yeah. So yes. So yes, I want to finally ask you before we leave, what advice do you have for our viewers who are watching us right now, our audience who are watching right now? What advice do you have for them, Renata?
So basically, the first thing I want to say to everyone watching and those who will be viewing also, take care of your own mental health. It's very important. That's the first thing I want to say. Take care of your own mental health in order that you can be there to help others struggling with their mental health. Remember, mental health is just as important as physical health. I've come here today and I've shared my experiences with you guys, and also the struggle that I had dealing with someone struggling with mental health issues and mental illness. And I did this because I want to bring awareness to everyone. I want to bring awareness to the issues and the stigma surrounding mental health. There's a lot of help out there for us. There's resources, there's treatment, and there's facility, and also activities. You don't have to suffer in silence. There's support out there. Speak to someone, get the support and the help that you need, find someone you trust and let them advocate for you. If you can't advocate for your loved one, find someone who will advocate for them on your behalf. Be honest. Be honest with your feelings, be honest with what you're feeling and how you're feeling, get someone to check in on you and to make sure that you're okay. When you see changes in behaviors, those are red flags, action them, ask the person that you've seen the changes in, if there's anything you can do to assist them, be that safe person for them, advocate for them, be resilient. You have to be resilient. There's some rough times. Of course, I've explained to you guys, there will be the ups and the downs, the roller coaster ride. And there's time for you to take a step back. That time will come when you need to take a step back. But don't step back. Make sure you also come back and be there for them. Let them know that you're there. Always let that person struggling know that you're there. Don't make mockery of them. Please, guys, don't encourage others to make mockery of them. Do not use derogatory names such as calling them stupid, demon-possessed, or mad people. It is an illness. View it as an illness. Educate yourself about the mental illness your loved one is having, but also educate yourself about the signs of mental illness, the signs to look for, again, every one come out and share the story, a little bit shared here and there is a knowledge gain. People with mental health illness, they're members of society and they need to be loved. They need to be treated with respect and loved unconditionally. Together, I know we can break the stigma. I know we can break this stigma. We can make this world a much better place. I know we can make it a much better place for people suffering with mental health issues and also for family members who suffer along with them. Be that support that those people need. Be the support. We need to treat people with mental health issues as individuals and not as the mental health or the illness. We have to realize they're still a person, they're an individual. Don't judge them based on their illness, Mental health, I want to say this, it does not discriminate. It doesn't choose a category or class. Again, it can happen to any one of us from any walk of life, any gender, any race, it can come. I encourage you guys to contribute towards the cause. I encourage you guys to make sure that you're looking for the signs, being there, Do not look down on others, you know. Again, as I said, don't call them derogatory names. Educate others who you hear are calling them derogatory names as to why they should not do those kind of things, you know. Educate yourself about the diagnosis of your loved ones and yourself in order that you can better help and assist them and help them to get the best care possible. Be a voice. Don't be afraid to defend them. Don't be afraid. I believe perseverance is seldom failed, hence why I'm here. Hence why I've taken on the challenge of breaking the stigma surrounding mental health. I believe that we're closer to breaking that stigma. I believe we're closer to positive change. I also believe this has bring awareness. So I encourage everybody, you know, use your eyes, your ears, your heart, and your arms. One thing I want to say, a little step may be the beginning of a great journey. And these little steps that we're taking is the beginning of the journey to stamping out the stigma surrounding mental health. The more steps we make, the closer we'll get. Thank you guys so very much for listening.
Oh my goodness. I can't even thank you enough, Renata. Thank you so much. Viewers, you can see that Renata has said it all. She has given you all the advice that you need. She talked about not being judgmental. You have to start something, begin with a step, start something. And she said you have to love them. You don't have to use derogatory words to put them down. No, she has said it all. She said you have to seek for the right help. Meet with somebody that can help you, a professional, a psychiatrist, meet with them. Okay, so she has said it all. Listen to them. She said, pay attention. Look out for the signs. Educate yourself about mental illness. Okay, please, I don't know what to say. Renata, thank you so much. I just want to thank you for this, for coming out here today. You spoke a lot about your lived experience, you know, with having somebody that have mental illness, your mother. Thank you so much. And you've told my viewers what to do just in case, and they should stop the stigma. Stop the stigma is a huge one. And also let the people, your loved ones, know that they are not alone. If they are passing through, if they are going through whatever it is that they are going through, you have to be there for them. Support system is very, very important.
Very important.
So it is so obvious that with the support that Renata gave to her mother, there was a change. Okay, there was a change. She talked about the changes that occurred. Yes. So the changes took place after she advocated on behalf of her mother. So please, these are some of the advice that Renata has given to you. Make sure you utilize it. The reason why we are here today is to also is to be part of that change, is to create that awareness. Okay, as I've said before, in order for a change to occur, it starts with me and you.
Absolutely.
Okay, every little steps count. Do not discount what we are doing today, because what we are doing right now is creating a change. This is creating awareness. All right. So thank you all for watching. Please share this video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you all. Renata, I want to thank you once again. I want to thank people that are here with me. Thank you, Sidley. Thank you, Marcia, Stella, Alicia. Thank you for joining us. And for those of you watching on Facebook, thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. We are also on Twitter. Okay. And remember, you are not alone. What I want you to do for us today is to, if you want to be part of that change, help us share this video. Thank you. I'll see you next time. I remain your host, Faith Adodo. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Faith.
Bye.
Thanks for having
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Love you guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.